Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and He holds us in His hands. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and He holds us in His hands. He's higher than a skyscraper. He's deeper than a submarine. He's wider than the universe and beyond my wildest dreams. And He's not.
Oh, are we on, Vince? Pastor John here with Midweek Manna from Mudflat. This is our second one. I'm doing this from the Philippines. I'm going to keep these going after I get back, which will be soon. I'll be back preaching on the 16th of August, Lord willing. And Vince tells me we had over 700 views on our first Midweek Manna from Mudflat, so that's pretty good. And today I'm going to talk a little about the heat. Now, it's kind of funny, Vince and I, we've been talking. Today's a nice day here, and it's sunny, some clouds, maybe it'll cloud up and rain, but we look at the weather map online and it'll say 20% chance of rain, 60%, 80%, 90%. So I went to Hay, Washington on my phone. I said, Vince, look, for the next 2 weeks, what are the percentage of chances of rain? 0%, 0%, 0%, 0%. So it's hot back there. I've been there many times in August. I'll be back in the middle of August, which reminds me of our Midweek Manna verse for this week. Comes from Psalm 63, verse 1. O God, you are my God. Earnestly I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My flesh faints for you in a dry and weary land where there is no water. Well, David wrote this psalm, and he wasn't just using words because he was poetic and it came to him. He was in the desert. He was living in the part of the world that was hot. The land would be scorched. So he was showing that the wilderness wasn't just in his soul, but it was also in the real land that he was. So the first thing I want to say is that we all deal with the heat of everyday stress. Now, King David, as we know, he had a lot of stress in his life, many difficulties. A couple times he obviously fell with sin, but he was a man who loved God. He wrote many psalms. It was a beautiful thing. And what I've learned is that our spiritual dryness can sneak up on us. When I was on a bike ride, it's now 3 years ago, with my friend Eric, Pastor Eric Welbolt, we went from Charleston, South Carolina to Key West. It wasn't very far, about 800 miles. And we left in early March, so it was cool. I mean, I'd been training inside Mudflat on my trainer bike December, January, February. Well, the first day we went out, it got up to 93 degrees in March. And about halfway into the day, I just didn't have any strength. I thought I was okay. But here what happened was the heat and the dehydration, it snuck up on me. And so Eric said, John, you better get over. So we cooled off, drank some water, relaxed for a couple weeks, then I felt fine. I really think that, you know, here we are in the midweek, that sometimes our spiritual dryness or drought sneaks up on us. That we think we're going along okay, but suddenly we feel distant from God, we feel emptiness inside. And how do we fill that void? Now, the dumb things we do, and we all do dumb things, well maybe I need to go buy something, you know, buy a new car or buy some clothes. Maybe it'll feel better. Maybe I'll do this or that, or just complain. But in the end, we find out those things don't really help, that it is only God through His Holy Spirit that can quench our thirst. So you can see here, as Vince shows, this is the river. I would say this is more normal. Would you say, Vince, it's more normal? You've seen it maybe After a rain, it gets high and it gets muddy and going, but it runs year-round. It never dries up, right? Because of mountain springs where it comes from, there's always water here. And in a sense, midweek manna, that God's Spirit is always running like this. It's always moving along. But sometimes we decide not to quench our thirst. I've been in the Grand Canyon. My daughter's going to break my record, I know. I don't know how many times, but I've been to the river and back 22 times, but that's over the last 57 years, so nothing that great. But it's about a 20-mile round trip. You go down and up. It's 1 mile elevation change. So I know enough about the Grand Canyon that it's so dry, you have to drink more water, more than you think. Carry water because it sneaks up on you. So for you today, if you're thinking that you're going through a spiritually dry time, or I don't know how many the actual farmers out in the field are going to listen to this because you're so busy, but I know when it comes to harvest, you put everything aside and you harvest when the grain is ripe. And I'm not one to say that's right or wrong, but we all need to be aware that we can dry up. That like this river, God's Spirit is always flowing. It's always available. These little dogs here, this is little, here, come on, come here. This is little Charcoal, I guess. And he likes me, I don't know why, but you like me? Yeah. I'm gonna give you a bath. I'm gonna throw you in the river. No, I better not. But Charcoal, he comes down here. If they're hot, they get on the edge. And his mother accidentally got out and got swept down in the waves just a minute ago, but was able to come back and get here. So I conclude our midweek manna, and I just want to refer to Vince. He's been busy helping me. He has a daughter, 11 months old, but he's a head deacon at his church. It's very important to him. So he goes for prayer meetings. They have church twice a week. He goes for this, he goes for that. And what Vince tells me is that keeps him spiritually, his thirst quenched, because he knows without thanking God, his life would be very different. So I'm hoping for anybody that might listen to this at Selbu or otherwise in this midweek, you'll probably listen to this Wednesday or Thursday or sometime, that God is always with us. Oh God, from Psalm 63, verse 1, you are my God. It's important to say that. And to be able to say, as David did, my soul thirsts for you. That even though we may reject God or think we don't need God, the soul that God put in us, it needs the Lord. And we come to the water of life like this horses over there. Can you see that, Vince? He's come to the water of life over there, cooling off a little bit. God is calling you and me to the water. And remember David, who said, my soul thirsts for you. Well, this is Mudflat here in the Philippines. I'll be back soon. Thank you to Josie Booth, who gave a great message last week and will this coming week. And then to Roger Zering on the 9th, and then I'll be back on the 16th. So God bless you. This is Pastor John, Mudflat Preacher, with this week's Midweek Manna from Mudflat.
In his hands, he's higher than a skyscraper, he's deeper than a submarine, he's wider than the universe and beyond my wildest dreams. And he's known me and he's loved me since before the world began. How wonderful to be a part of God's amazing plan. Our God is a great big God.